Alright, so I just want to take a few minutes to go through some vocabulary for circles. So there's a few terms that we need to talk about that are new to the circle. So we have our big giant yellow circle here with the center of the circle here. You can draw a little smiley face. That's why circles are so fun. But let's get to some of the terminology. So the terms of the circle. So first of all, we have our center, right? Here's the center of the circle. That's usually marked with a point. And so this is center A. And this is what we call this would be actually circle A. So the circle is actually named by the center. So if you see something that says circle A or circle B, it's going to always be named by whatever the center is. So this is circle A. And this is the circle. And so the circle is actually a series of points equidistant from the center. So that means all of these points on this yellow line here on the circle are equidistant from the center. So that's what a circle really is. A circle is not any point in here. It is only the points represented by this outer rim. So the next term is radius, or if in plural it would be radii. So here's a radius. A radius goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, to the circle itself. So from the center to the circle. So remember, the circle is only this outer rim. A diameter goes across the circle. So it goes completely across the circle through the center. So it actually intersects the circle at 2 points, here and here. Now we also have a chord. Now this is a new term that you're probably not familiar with. A chord is also a line segment in a circle that intersects the circle at 2 points. So this is a chord. So a diameter is a type of chord, but a chord is not necessarily a diameter. A chord is simply a line segment that intersects the circle at 2 points. And so the end points of the chord are actually on the circle. So it's just like a diameter that doesn't go through the center. I'm going to name some of the points here to make it a little easier for us. The next term is a central angle. Now a central angle has its vertex in the center. So you have central, center. Central angle is simply an angle that has its vertex at the center. So, for example, this central angle is EAD. So EAD is a central angle. Now I skipped ahead a little bit. Here we have inscribed angle. Now an inscribed angle has its vertex on the circle. So that gets kind of confusing, I know. So you have a central angle where its vertex is in the center, and an inscribed angle where its vertex is on the circle. So these are a couple of terms that you're going to need to know about angles when we're dealing with circles. Now, for example, we have this inscribed angle, which would be angle DBC. And this inscribed angle happens to be formed by 2 chords. One chord being the diameter, and this other chord here. Now an inscribed angle could be formed by any 2 chords. So you can have a chord that goes like this. Next, we have minor arc. Now a minor arc is, for example, any arc that's less than 180 degrees. So we have this arc here. This would be arc CD. And we would write that as CD with a little arc symbol, just like that. So that would be minor arc CD. Now you also have major arc. Now a major arc is any arc that's greater than 180 degrees. So for example, you could say arc BCE. So this whole arc here, and sometimes you could even see it, you'll see it named with 3 letters or 4 letters. You could say arc B, C, D, E. So major arc would be, say, B, C, D, E, or maybe B, C, E. So we could write that down. You say B, C, E. And the arc symbol is a little arc. Now, if you ever see somebody that says, or a problem that says arc CD, for example right here, if you saw something that just said arc CD and it didn't say minor arc, always assume they're talking about the minor arc. Because CD could in fact be this entire arc here, right? That would be the major arc. But if they don't specify it's a major arc, assume it's a minor arc. The last thing, we have semicircle and tangent. So a semicircle would be, say, half the circle. So you could say DEB is a semicircle, or BCD is a semicircle. And then the last term is tangent. Tangent is actually a line or line segment that intersects the circle at one point. So we had the chord and the diameter. They intersect the circle at 2 points here. We have this line segment here. It actually just touches the circle right there. So if you think about what I always think about, if I'm going around this circle, and you ever hear that term going off on a tangent? So if I'm going around the circle and I'm going off on a tangent, whoop, that's what that means. So I'm just going off on a tangent. So that's your tangent right there. So these are some terms we're going to deal with. I hope this helps going forward. Please let me know if you have questions.